this is Chris Spiker.
I'm Aaron Goldstein. We are here with our first guest, Danny Bazzell from the Flight Test Historical Foundation.
Hey, Danny.
Hey, how's it going, Chris?
Very good. Give me an update, man. What's going on at the museum these days?
Well, big things. The museum building project is still moving forward. If you'll recall, we had our groundbreaking back March 23rd. And as with any big construction project, keep in mind this is a roughly $10 million project. Things happen once you start,
Right.
that can delay things. So we had some engineering changes, some traffic control issues that had to be taken care of for safety reasons.
You mean car traffic or sky traffic?
Car traffic.
Gotcha.
So mainly it's having museum traffic merging onto Rosamond Boulevard when you have people leaving the base at 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the afternoon. You don't want slow traffic merging with high-speed traffic. So we had to do some engineering changes and get approvals on that. The most important aspect is the foundation has to lease the land from the government while we're building it because we're in charge of the building project. And so the lease was just signed by General Tykert last week, and that's the last stumbling block that we had on the actual building side. So we're actually hoping to have tractors on the ground and actually moving dirt by mid to end December, hopefully before Christmas would be ideal.
You know, before we get too excited about this wonderful project and how fast it's moving, you're still looking for some funds.
We are always looking for funds. The Flight Test Museum is operated on a $5,000 a year budget with 3 DoD employees, so their payroll's covered, but as far as operating expenses, they get roughly $5,000 a year. That covers their office supplies, printer, toner, ink, that kind of thing. So all other money to support the museum has to come from private foundation or private citizen money. No taxpayer dollars can go into it because, quite frankly, your taxpayer dollars have already paid for it. You're already paying for the staff that's there. You already paid for the airplanes over the years.
Right.
So the government won't allow taxpayer dollars to go into the operation of the museum other than that small budgetary amount in payroll. So we still need a roughly $7 million to complete the project, but we have enough to get phase 1 started, and that's the grading, drainage, the site preparation, basically taking it from raw desert and making it to buildable land. And that's what we're getting ready to start up with now. And so we'll be kicking off a capital campaign shortly to try and raise the additional funds we need. So yes, we could always use money, so if anybody out there, it's not just money actually. We're looking for money obviously because that's what makes things happen. But let's say you're a contractor and you have experience in large-scale commercial construction and you want to be a part of the project. We're looking for in-kind donations. We need a lot of cement, so in-kind donations from cement companies of the actual raw materials, and then the ready-mix people can use that to make the concrete.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
We're looking for light poles. We're looking for interior and exterior lighting. We're looking for roofing materials. Everything that's going to go into a 160,000 square foot structure, we need that. We need supplies and equipment for the classrooms for our STEM education programs. When we're getting to the point where we're ready to start that, we need computers, we need desks, tables, chairs. So in-kind donations are also very welcome from anybody that has the ability to do that on some scale that we can work with.
So a museum that has room inside for the exhibits.
Correct.
Out of the elements.
Our current museum is only a 12,000 square foot building built in 1999. It's been off limits to the public since 9/11. We only have 8,000 square feet of display space in there, and we have 85 aircraft, just aircraft artifacts, 85. We have thousands of other museum artifacts. So the new building will be roughly 145 to 160,000 square feet of display space. And that's going to allow us to put our rare artifacts, the most rare ones, such as the A-12, the first CIA-built SR-71 variant, if you would call it. And there'll be people out there that will call me on that. But
right.
The YA-12 Operation Oxcart Article 121, the one that sits on the east side of Blackbird Air Park in Palmdale, that is one of our rarest artifacts. That's the first one of those kind of airplanes. We also have the YA-117 Scorpion 4, the world's first fully capable stealth aircraft. That's in our north base restoration hangar, staying out of the elements because it has been restored, and that needs to be moved into public display area, but it needs to be kept indoors. So we have numerous examples of those kind of aircraft that are better served being indoors. You wouldn't take the Bell X-1 out of the Smithsonian and put it on a stick outside the Smithsonian. You want it preserved for all future generations. So this new facility will allow us to do that. And it will also bring a lot of tourism dollars into the Antelope Valley, because as of end of September, we had a roughly 51,000 visitors between Blackbird Air Park and the museum on base. With the museum on base being off limits to the general public,
Right.
That's a pretty good sized number, 51,000 people. But imagine moving that outside the gate, where anybody and everybody driving up and down Highway 14, tour bus, campers, foreign tourists that are traveling to Yosemite or Las Vegas or
Hour
underway-
drive from Los Angeles.
Hour drive from Los Angeles. So we're anticipating that number being as high as 150,000 or more in the first year that we're open, and we're hoping to have it open by 2020. The word's out that they're looking to do the air show at Edwards Air Force Base
Right.
in 2020 in conjunction with the LA County Air Show. And 2020 is our hope for opening date for the first phase of the museum. So we hope we can get all this done in time, but we do need money. So we're looking for cash donations, we're looking for in-kind donations, and you can find out more information on our website, which is www.flighttestmuseum.org.
And I bet, like you said today, you were at the Women's Club.
I was at the Women's Club, Palmdale Women's Club, beautiful bunch of gentlemen and ladies. They were celebrating their Veterans Day deal there, but they also had a delicious Thanksgiving dinner.
And you got to talk a little bit about the museum.
I spent about an hour talking with the group and telling them about the museum, the history of aerospace in the Antelope Valley. This is the center of the flight test universe, as General Teichert is fond of saying. This is it. This is where it all started. Mach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.7, all broken here in the Antelope Valley. Numerous other records, so many historic programs. The seat belts in your car you owe to testing by John Paul Stapp on the rocket sleds here at Edwards. So many different things that this aerospace valley has generated and produced over the years, and that's just going to keep going on. If you look at the motto of the Flight Test Center, of 412 Test Wing, is ad in explorata, towards the unknown. And we're still doing that to this day out there. They're working on the low boom demonstrators, how to make a sonic boom sound no louder than a door closing on a car, for instance. So that towards the unknown is still there. We're looking towards the future always. And with the museum and our education programs, we're looking for the future of who's going to run these programs, who's going to work on these airplanes, who's going to build them, who's going to paint them, who's going to fix them, who's going to design them. And we want that talent to be homegrown,
Right.
to be right here from the Antelope Valley. So the education programs and working with the school districts on all their STEM programs are going to be very beneficial. To give you an example, so our Blackbird Air Park Summer STEM program in 2017 was our first year taking it offline and moving it into the real world.
Mhm.
We had about 475 people go through that 8-week program, completely free to the public.
Young
And
people.
Young people. This is targeted to elementary school age kids, but we had pre-kindergarten to high school. This year we did it, we had over 1,200 students. 1,200 people there.
That's like tripling.
We tripled it.
Yeah.
And with that kind of growth, next year, we're now working to see what we can do to accommodate if we get 2,000 people, or do we have to cut it off at a certain number. I would rather have the ability to keep expanding it.
Right.
And reaching as many people as possible. So, but that all takes money.
Takes a little bit of money, but
Takes-
it's all about towards the unknown.
Towards the unknown. Let's just keep shooting towards the future and getting those second and third graders of today to be the Chuck Yeagers and the Jack Ridleys of the future.
Who's going to be the Pancho Barnes of the future?
She's probably in first grade right now.
Thinking about maybe going to the moon.
Correct, or Mars.
Yeah.
You know, who knows?
So you don't have to raise this money all by yourself, do you?
The foundation does, yes. I mean, the foundation as a group is responsible to raise the money, but the public is more than welcome to help us raise money. Like I said, if you're willing to get involved, please check us out on the website. There's a link on there directly to my email, generalmanager@flighttestmuseum.org. I know it's a long one. But we're welcome to talk to anybody that has fundraising ideas or in-kind donation ideas, or if you just want to talk to me about how much you can give. It doesn't matter if everybody in the valley gave me $1, I'd be a long ways to my goal.
I'm thinking about when you had the groundbreaking. If each of those folks would have put $1,000, you'd be
Correct.
down the road.
We would have had $250,000. So it's literally the economy of scale. If not everybody can give me a check for $1,000, but if somebody out there drops a $20 bill in the donation box at Blackbird Air Park, and or a $5 bill, or kids clean out their piggy bank and donate it. If there's classrooms out there in the schools that they want to start a fundraiser, bake sales, anything like that, with the proceeds going to the construction of this treasure, we're more than happy to talk to you.
This is a facility that's going to be around for a long time.
It will be around for decades and decades. So yes.
Edwards is not going anywhere.
Edwards has been here a long time, and that lake bed's not going anywhere. And
It's built around the lake bed, isn't it?
it is built around the lake bed. It is the largest dry lake bed of its kind in the world, and it's with its bentonite clay. It's the perfect surface for doing flight tests and saving lives.
And it's in California.
It's right here in our own backyard.
Yeah.
So,
Contact information again?
general manager at flighttestmuseum.org is my email. You can contact our gift shop at Edwards Museum at 661-258-1658, and they will take a message and pass it on to me.
It's Danny Bazzell, Flight Test Historical Museum Foundation.